Hey everybody, welcome to Big Dumb Monsters. I'm Nick,
And I am Chris.
and this week we are celebrating 4th of July and watching Jaws from 1974, a
The
monstrous classic.
the first huge summer blockbuster, in fact.
Yeah, it's a great cast, good music, even though it doesn't fit where it mostly is. Um, Great monster design, I guess. It looks like a shark.
May not have worked well, in real life, but hey, look, it looks cool.
It did the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steven Spielberg, absolute classic, fucking banger for the holiday. You'll not be disappointed. We're watching Jaws, so enjoy the show. The amount of gin that I had left in my bottle filled my glass perfectly. And by perfectly, I mean like right to the tippy top.
All fucking day today, I was like, oh man, I'm going to have a Mai Tai tonight when I record. I haven't had one in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to it. Completely
Fucking
forgetting.
run out of pods.
Yeah, no, last fucking Mai Tai I made, I kicked the bottle of rum that I have. Yeah,
Balls.
womp, 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 womp. So yeah, having a Narragansett, which is appropriate for the movie, as
Sure
I
is.
noticed. Yeah, that is what Quint is drinking on the boat.
Yep. Oh, man. I forgot how much I like this movie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw down. I mean, immediately, you know what I'm gonna rate this movie, right?
Yeah, I know you're gonna give it a 10. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's no bullshit.
Yeah, I like. There was a time in my life where, I mean, this movie was literally on once a week, and like it just always happened to be like it was always like on a Friday or Saturday night. Like after we'd come back home from the bar, like we'd go to my parents' house because my parents had like a hangout basement,
Yep.
and like they were usually asleep, so we can go down there and fucking smoke and drink and just do whatever and not be bothered.
Yeah, just be degenerates. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was always on, like just without fail every time Jaws was on. So I mean, like I mean, I've always loved this movie, but I mean, I was literally watching this movie once a week, like for a good portion of my life.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it quite a few times, but I don't think I've seen it in at least 20 years.
No shit.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But like,
Yeah, I've had a nice break
I
for
always
it
had
myself.
I always had the mindset of like, yeah, I know exactly what happens. Like, everybody knows exactly what happens in this movie. Like, everything that's famous about it has just become part of like the pop culture lexicon. So it didn't feel like there was a need to watch it. So actually sitting down and watching it and taking it all in, it's a really, really well developed fucking movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm on that. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just good. No, it's just fucking good.
Yeah. Because it's been such a like constant like background, item in my life that like I've never actually sat down to watch it critically, and like watching it this time, there are things I noticed that I've never noticed before. Like, just I can appreciate it shit a lot more. I was gonna say it's also been a couple of years, I think, since I've actually sat down and watched it, which is amazing for me. Like I mean, like I said, without fail, this was on once a week when we were just hanging out. Like, just I mean, like, this is a movie. If I come across it on TV, that's where I'm stopping, and I'm gonna watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Without just nope. This is where it is. This is it's like an obsession almost.
Yeah. I see. Like, I don't know how critically you were looking at it. Oh, excuse me. Hold on 1 second. Everybody, we're going to try to be better on the microphone and not eat or belch directly into the goddamn thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We're working on it, folks. We're working on it.
we're trying. We're trying to improve our product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how specifically you were going to get into the finer details of this movie.
I mean,
but it definitely has some goddamn flaws. Like, big time for me. Like the kind of cardboard cutout villainous townspeople.
yeah,
like that,
I mean,
that wasn't.
But again, I mean, we're looking at this through 50 years almost of pop culture of seeing that trope, again
Yeah.
and again and again. So it might have been a little fresher at the time, like where I don't want to say we're spoiled. That's not the term I'm looking for, but we're so used to movies.
We're overexposed to that trope, I guess.
Well, not only
So
that,
they-
but we're not used to a movie like this anymore. Like, just again, what's become popular over time is, where everything in the movie revolves around a giant world-ending event. Like, there's some,
Yeah.
huge apocalypse that's going to threaten everybody in the world, and
Yeah.
a lot of movies just kind of revolve around these major events. Where like, this is a really small story. Like, it's, the villain is, greed,
It's an animal.
basically. Well, yeah, you have that, but then you have the
greed
greed of
and-
the town,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
They're just out for the fucking tourist dollars. It's really, well, it's not even greed. It's what they need to live, and it's basically what are they willing to sacrifice in order to maintain that living. Basically, is kind of what the
Sure.
the moral question of the movie is.
Yeah.
That was long
I can
rambling,
agree with
sorry.
that. No, it totally made sense. By the way, everybody, we're watching Jaws this week.
Yes. I mean,
We got to get better about that. That's definitely something
yeah.
to do.
Arguably,
But we cover it in the intro, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I always forget that, like 30 seconds to 5 minutes before this point, we were on the mic more sober. Well, actually, less sober because it's at the end of the podcast that we record those.
Yeah.
Oh man.
To kind of show you how the sausage is made, we record the entire episode, then we do the intro.
Which can be interesting from time to time.
Yeah. So we're usually, like you said, far less sober.
Yeah. Shit, I was gonna go somewhere. I had something to say and I totally fucking forgot.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let me see. 50 years. Jaws. Shark. Oh. This is. I was gonna say. Okay. Nope. I got it. I got it back. This is like the first huge summer blockbuster. I mean, also argue in the argument of greatest movies ever made, at least in my opinion. I would say a lot of critical opinions.
Yeah, it definitely has that reputation. And it's well deserved, especially when you look back at the kind of movies that were coming out around this. So this was what, 75. Like Star Wars hadn't come out yet, so you didn't have that like that scale of blockbuster kind of
This is
out yet.
like a year after The Godfather, so I mean, like that also is in the running for like first blockbuster, but this is like first summer blockbuster. Like Godfather came out in like February or March.
That was Jesus Christ! We just
It was
watched
in the offer. Yeah.
I
just
think
remember
it was,
Robert Everett's bitching about it. Like,
Yeah, I think it was March.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were going to do it in March, and they moved it up to Valentine's Day.
Oh, is that what it was?
I believe that's what happened. What eventually happened. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
And again, we're just two like drunk amateur historians here, so take anything
That's
we
right.
say with a grain of salt.
Drunk movie history.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just a glass of gin. Delicious.
I would say
So-
also appropriate for this movie, considering like Quint.
Yeah. My biggest gripe with this movie, and let me preface this by saying it is incredibly well done, but 90% of the music in this movie does not fit the scenes. So you will have these crazy tension-filled moments, but the soundtrack is this like, we're gonna go on an adventure, high strung, major key. Yeah, like most of it belonged in Indiana Jones, like for real.
I can see that's valid, but then again, like to counter that, you have again arguably the most distinct movie sound, movie score in film history. I mean, like everybody
really only the title song.
Yeah, not the entire score, just that one part. I mean, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Dun,
oh, absolutely.
Dun,
yeah, it's a tuba going from what is it? I think it's E to F. Da, da. Which I mean, yeah, like I said, like not the entirety of the score, but a lot of it.
That
was
is
just
100% a valid criticism. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Because even like on the Orca, you have like, excuse me, when they're on the Orca, when he's shooting him with the barrels, like as soon as he takes off with the barrel, it's that adventure music, that dun 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 dun, like.
Yeah, John Williams composed some really, really excellent music for this, and I do not want to take anything away from what he did and what he composed. It just is not right for fit, most of where it is.
Yeah, this happy like adventure music doesn't convey the fact that like these are three dudes, at this point stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Right. Play that music, play that adventure music, like when they're kind of celebrating, shooting it and getting some of the barrels stuck, or when they're on the beach, those kind of things. That's where that music belongs. The rest of this movie, almost the entire rest of this movie, needs to be that style of music that they had in the intro, that just minor key, like diabolical kind of like just nasty sounding stuff. Like that's what it needs to be, because that's ominous, and that's because you're not seeing the quote unquote monster through the vast majority of this movie. You need to set that tension up, and high strung adventure music is not going to do it.
Yeah. It definitely needs to be more ominous, especially if you're teasing with the monster like that. I remember when Jurassic Park came out, a lot of people griped that, like, oh, it's the opposite of Jaws. Like, he waited to show you the monster in Jaws, where literally the first thing you see in Jurassic Park is a dinosaur. And, like, I don't know.
It works for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was going to say there's merits to both sides of that. And, like, but for this, though, I mean, like, the way that like a shark on its own is a scary, scary thing for, your average person. Like, it's not something we're ever going to encounter, like, in our normal life,
Yeah.
So just that threat of, like, this unseen, just killing machine just below, the water where we like to have fun, like, just that's ominous on its own. But then knowing that, like, it's enormous. It's like 20, I think it's supposed to be like 25 feet long.
It's 25-footer.
Yeah, like it just amps it all up. I forget where I was going with this, but that's like.
Well, it's the difference between Jurassic Park and Jaws.
Yes, I'm sorry. No. Yeah, okay, thank you. No, I was gonna say, like, that works for this because, like, you're still kind of piecing together, like, oh shit, like maybe like this is gigantic. Like, you don't really get that sense until you finally see this thing. I think when he's going after the guy in the pond, and you just see that one shot of him turning to the side and opening his mouth, like, as it's going for the guy, like, whoa, what the fuck?
Well, another thing too is, like, it's where you set your expectations. Mm-hmm. So in Jaws, you don't want to be around a shark. Like, you want to go to the beach, you want a good time, you don't want any trouble. But then you've got this massive shark that comes in, and that's a surprise element. Like, it's not something you want to be around. You go to Jurassic Park, that's the point. You're going to Jurassic Park because you want to be around a dinosaur. You want to see it. So it's given to you. It's a given. Like, it has to be there. Like, Jurassic Park is a phenomenal film, and I don't really like the Jurassic Park movies, but I know their merit. Like,
it is a steadily decreasing
they just don't do it for me. What's that?
It is a steadily decreasing return on those movies as far as enjoyment.
Is it really?
This new one was.
I did like the first one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that was
like,
good.
It was fun. Like, those movies are supposed to be fun.
And the second one was just like, all right. And then this last one was straight up duty. Like, just garbage.
Sick.
Yeah. Anyway. I also noticed that as I was watching this yesterday, like, it's the day Alex Kintner is killed. I watched it on June 29th.
Yes, and a second fact about that, like, he's killed on the 29th, but when Quint is telling the story, that it was also the 29th when the Indianapolis went down.
No shit, I never put that together.
Yeah, so he was having a bad time because he was kind of dealing with the town with, and losing the kid, but it was also the anniversary of
this horrible
life-changing event for him. Yeah.
And again, I keep going back to this anyway, saying, like, arguably the greatest, yada yada yada, but, like, him telling the Indianapolis story is arguably one of the greatest, like, film scenes in history.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's such a dark turn.
Yeah, because he starts off the story, like, happy, in a good mood, and then as he's telling it, he just gets gradually darker and darker and darker until at the end he's just, like, dead inside. He is the thing that he's describing. He's like, the dark doll eyes that just, the dead eyes. Like, that's what he is by the end of the story.
Yeah. A lot of really good casting in this movie.
Yeah.
Everybody that you're supposed to hate, you absolutely fucking hate because they give off that scumbag vibe.
Mayor Vaughn, like, first and foremost.
Oh, the mayor is just detestable.
I will say, like, I know the comedian Paul F. Tompkins has beat me to this, but I want that fucking jacket. That suit jacket with the anchors on it.
The anchors, yeah.
Like, I want to get drunk in that outfit just once in my life.
Ah, boy. That's the kind of jacket you drink like a fucking, like, a vodka 7 in.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'd have to start smoking cigarettes just for a day, like, just to have, like, the drink with the cigarette in one hand,
Yeah. Well, you're holding the drink.
Yeah.
And in the same hand, you've got the cigarette.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Tom McWaters and I, past guests on this podcast.
Tom, not current Tom.
Yeah. We used to have this, like, thing where, like, we always said, like, if we ever got rich, we're gonna dress like different rich people, like, just, like, insane. If we ever have, like, an insane amount of money, let's just do crazy, stupid rich people shit. Like, dress like a different famous person each day. My Saturday choice, and I will stick to this if I ever get rich. My Saturday dress choice, Quint. It's the perfect Saturday outfit. Like, you can do fucking, like, if you got to do, like, errands or shit, or, like, yard work around the house.
You can do anything in it.
Yeah.
You can do anything other than look clean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can get that done in that outfit. Like, if you want to sit around and fucking drink, like, that's a drinking outfit. Like, you want to go out and grab some food later, like, throw the jacket on. Like, you're filthy, but, like, you're presentable,
Yeah. It's like, oh, that guy worked all day.
Smells like fish guts and fucking Narragansett, but...
Perfect.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite movie characters of all time.
Quint?
Yeah, I mean, whenever there's like, what's your favorite out of anything? I hate to pin down one thing because it changes,
Yeah.
on a heartbeat. But Quint is definitely in that argument for me of just favorite. I mean, he's just an amazing, amazing character. Like, just
Yeah.
God, I love Robert Shaw in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm well aware of how much you love Quint because anytime we like cheers a drink, it's here's to swimming with bow-legged women every time.
Like, it's close to 100% of the time if I'm taking a shot, that's what I'm going to say before it.
Yep. Although I think from now on I might switch mine from Slanja to here. I'll drink to your leg.
I'll drink to your leg. I'll drink to my leg. We'll drink to our legs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, in that time when we used to watch this regularly, like after coming home all smashed and shit, like this, like the Robert Shaw one-liners, like holy shit, like I could probably quote this movie from start to finish, like. Chief, put the fire out, would you? Like, shit.
Yeah, I love how calm he was during that scene. He was like, he didn't give a shit.
Just like everything. I mean, like, from the one thing I noticed on this go around that I did not notice this ever. When Brody and Hooper show up the first time to his like shack there to hire him, he immediately, like, I didn't pick up on this. He immediately has them both sized up, and like I think, because like specifically with Chief, he gives him the shot of the booze. And like he's like, here you go, have a shot, have a drink. And then he downs his immediately, and like Brody like sips it, and when he sees that, he fucking gives him like a look, like what the fuck, like he just immediately, and like I think Hooper's like, I'll finish it, like so again, like he treats Hooper like shit, and I think most people get the impression that he doesn't think much of Hooper, but I think it's the opposite. I think he knows Hooper, like, knows his shit and doesn't want to give him like an inflated sense of ego, while at the same time
he's keeping him in check.
Well, at the same time he's also coddling Chief. He doesn't want Chief to feel left out, even though he kind of does feel that, like, once they get out of the water. Like, if he's fucking breaking down, just constantly breaking down Hooper, like, Chief's not going to feel like he's the odd man out, And I think
that's like when he pulled the wrong rope and the tanks fell, after that whole big kerfuffle.
Chief, next time
he goes,
ask me.
You just I'll let you know what one to pull.
Yeah.
Is it where you get the idea that like Quint is actually a good dude?
He's just rough around the edges.
But he's rough around the edges, and he's a broken man.
He's also horribly traumatized.
Yeah.
And has been dealing with it for the past 30 years, probably just by downing, cases of Narragansett and his homemade booze.
And killing sharks.
Yeah, killing as many sharks as he can.
Yeah. Like, they become... they're his new enemy. So he's just going to do what he has to do in his own mind.
And again, like, not again, I'm just saying this for the first time. When he knows he's going to die, he doesn't put on his life vest because he says, I'm never putting on a life vest again. He puts on his fucking drinking jacket. Like,
yeah. Yep. He's what you call a man's man.
Yeah. He's going into the shark's mouth, stabbing it as he's going down. Like, that's the fucking dude he is.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another thing that I don't like about this movie.
Oh, what's that?
When he shoves that tank into the shark's mouth, and the shark just holds it in its mouth for fucking 10 minutes. Like, are you kidding me?
Like a cigar.
Yeah. It really was.
Pretty sure that thing would be able to get it out of its mouth, like, in that time.
Yeah, it would just open its mouth. Instead, it's swimming around like Groucho Marx. Now, if they prefaced that whole thing with like a scene where they're talking about like, once a shark gets something in its mouth, it'll never let it go. It's just like a little line like that would kind of bring some kind of realism to it.
A shark doesn't have a gag reflex, so once something gets in its mouth, it's there. Like
Yeah.
Again, one line of dialogue clears it all up. But again, we're not Steven Spielberg. I will leave that into his much more capable hands.
Listen, Steven Spielberg is great, but he's not above making a mistake or two.
I mean, come on, AI. Holy fuck, did I hate that movie.
I never even saw it. It looked like ass toilet, so I didn't even watch it. That was the one with
Jude Law and Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment.
We have gone to this. We've made this argument before. Well, I did anyway, about Pinocchio, where for some reason, like, major filmmakers just fall into this hole where they get obsessed with making a version of Pinocchio, and that was Steven Spielberg's Pinocchio.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like he was just obsessed with making that movie, and like. It's the same story. Like, he's a real boy, but he's a robot. Like, whatever, bullshit.
I guess I can understand the appeal of wanting to tell that story because it's a good story and it works on a lot of levels. Mm-hmm. But just fucking let it go. We've had enough.
Yeah. But I will say that Guillermo del Toro one looks pretty badass.
I haven't seen anything about it.
They just released like a little bit of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to say it was a full preview, but like some of the looks of like basically the puppets and shit.
Teaser?
Yeah, it looks like a Tool video from the 90s.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hey, I love Tool.
I've seen them twice, possibly.
I've never seen them. Shelley has gone to see them, but apparently fell asleep at the concert. So that makes me angry.
The only time I've ever fallen asleep at a show is like an outdoor show, like usually at night, where I'm like laying like far back from the stage, like in the grass or something. Like,
yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, but like if I'm like an indoor
you've been there
show,
all fucking day.
Yeah,
I've fallen asleep a couple of times, like at the movies, but never at a concert.
Yeah, no, not at a concert.
Like the first time I fell asleep at a movie, I think was Demons and Angels. That Dan Brown.
Angels and Demons.
Not Da Vinci Code. Yeah.
I forgot I made 3 of those fucking movies.
Oof. Jesus Christ. When I went and saw Dune in theaters, I wound up kind of falling asleep because it was like after work. And I had already seen it, and it was just like, I mean, I love that movie. I fucking love it. It's kind of dry. So
yeah. Excuse me.
Those are the only 2 that I really remember. I might have dozed off like half intoxicated at a few movies, but
yeah, I know. I mentioned I fell asleep during The Hobbit. We went to see that movie Into the Woods when it came out, the musical.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah, I that was a $13 nap for me. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones. I've only walked out of like 2 movies ever.
I don't think I've walked out of any.
I had the luxury of doing that because for a good, I would say almost 7 or 8 years, between myself and like various friends, I knew people who worked at the movie theater, so we always saw movies for free. Yeah, so we could just this is fucking terrible. Let's leave. Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis was one of them.
Virus. What the fuck movie was that?
That is the one. It was like on a ship.
Was that the? There was like a Outbreak came out, and then there was a bunch of knockoff movies about that.
It was like
one of those.
It was like an alien. like the virus was like an alien or something, and like I want to say maybe it like affected like machines, and they were like she was like on like a salvage crew, and then they came across this ship in the ocean, and like the alien or whatever got into the. It was so stupid we just left.
That sounds real bad.
Yeah. I want to say the other one was The Postman with Kevin Costner.
Oof.
Yeah, that was pretty horrible.
I rented that as a kid and did not finish it.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
No, it just. I get what they were trying to do with it, but it just didn't work. You know, that was the era of post-apocalyptic. I want to say the novel is supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah,
of The Postman
did not translate to film.
Just it was very dry because it was supposed to be more like a quote unquote realistic take on it, right? It wasn't supposed to be like this action-packed, crazy fucking movie.
Yeah, he was just like a dude who like wore a postman outfit and like wanted to like deliver mail to people in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And like I don't need a positive message in my apocalypse movie. Come on.
No, you know what I want? Super mutants.
Yeah, exactly. Violence.
I want Doomsday. You remember that movie Doomsday? Yeah. It's almost perfect. I mean, it's trash, but it's almost perfect trash.
Exactly, perfect trash.
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too. I'm at the autopsy scene right now.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just now splashing some water on his face.
Oh, he was just fixing his glasses right now. He's still over the body. Yeah, now he has the paper cup. Yep. All right.
Oh yeah. No, they've just switched over to the tiger shark scene with the arrow sticking out of it. Where I'm at.
Oh, the fake tiger shark. Like it looks pretty real, but then when you see the close up of the eye, that does not look like a real fish eye.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that was a real shark.
Look at that eye. It looks like it's painted on. Like they'll show like when somebody walks by and it looks straight up painted on.
Oh. Maybe. The fish eyes do flatten, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, maybe it's just because it's dead. Who knows?
I used to sell fish. Well, it could have been like a real shark for some scenes and a prop shark for some other stuff. I don't know. Weird. Jesus Christ. Are you ready to give this some numbers?
Yeah, I mean,
I already know what yours.
Yeah,
you're gonna throw down a 10.
Yeah,
it's a fucking 10.
Just because
now that's your emotional attachment number. What's your critical number?
Critical number, I would probably go like, I'd still go high, but probably like an 8.5. I don't know. The beginning of the movie can drag a little bit. I can understand that because it's mostly just like fiscal drama.
It's towny shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie for me really takes off as soon as they get onto the Orca. Like that's I can watch that last half of the movie just endlessly.
Yeah, because there's always something fun happening. Like, and I say fun, but I don't mean like haha adventure fun, like what they tried to put in for the music. I mean, like, for me, watching a movie that has like tension and release, and then drama and things like there's always something happening. That's fun, and I love what they did in this basically. I think it's the second half. It's pretty much chopped in half.
Yeah, it's like maybe like 50 minutes out of like almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just as soon as they get onto that boat, it's an entire like just incredibly tense, just ball of tension to repeat myself. But in the middle of it, you have the drinking scene with the with them just finally enjoying themselves, which then leads into the Indianapolis speech, which like reels you back into like the tension and stuff.
It's such a good break, like, and they're not afraid to throw a little bit of a one-liner in every once in a while to break the tension.
Yeah,
which is good because like you don't want tension, 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 and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then you've got just like one thing at the end that is your release. You've got to have those peaks and valleys, and they do it perfectly in the second half of this movie.
One of the funny like kind of just one-offs in that is when Quint is on the radio back to the shore and like, oh, we've got the chief here. He's like, oh, put her on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we caught a couple of group. We're gonna be real group. We're gonna have dinner. We'll be home soon. Bye. Like.
Yep. Don't talk.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, oh, what the hell is this lady's name? The mother of the kid that got killed.
Mrs. Kintner. Kintner.
Mrs. Kintner. She looks like she is his grandmother.
Yeah. I actually looked up her age when this movie came out. She is 46.
Hold on. Let me guess.
Oh, no, sorry. Damn
46? Ah, you son of a bitch. 46?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that lady's got city miles on her.
Yeah. She looks like she's easily like in her mid 60s. Well, I mean, which just goes to show like the evolution of people in like a short period of time, like 50 years.
That's
like,
true.
Like the improvement in medicine and like nutrition, like people look younger longer. I mean, like all of the people in this movie are probably supposed to be like in their like late 30s, 40s, and everybody looks like 50, 60.
Yeah. People used to get a lot more sun back in the day.
Sun, cigarettes, like more drinking, like more red meat, greasy food.
Oh man, yeah, this was 75, so you have to look at these people through a haze of cigarette smoke and cocaine dust.
There's the one family, which is a shot that I absolutely love. It's I guess on July 4th when nobody's going in the water, and the mayor goes up to the one family. He's like, hey, can you guys like go into the water? Like, people are like looking, and then like the guy like kind of it's the guy and the wife. They get up, and then they're standing there like going to the water with their family. They're all holding hands, and you see them from behind. And, like it's such an ominous like just like oh god like just a dreary shot. But
it's like, why do we have to do this?
Yeah, and again, the two parents and like the three children, all under 10 years of age, looks like, and these parents, mid 60s maybe, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
All right, so if I got to give this, I got to lay down a number on this. It's a solid 8.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it loses points for the kind of cardboard cutout, just generic villainness of the townies. Mm-hmm. The music not being fitting almost at all. And I don't know. Like, the pacing early on is really...
Yeah, like I said,
it's a little whack, but it's not bad. But
I'd say once like July 4th, like once you start getting there, like after, I would say a little bit after Alex Kintner is killed, that's when it starts to pick up. But really, it is like turbocharged once they get onto the boat.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? I'm watching it, and I guess I don't have a problem with the pacing in the beginning. The pacing in the beginning is just vastly different from what they did in the second half.
Yeah. Because
the now that I'm rewatching it, instead of just thinking about it, it does have that build up and then attack, and then it builds up again, and then there's another attack. So I guess there is the tension and the release that I'm looking for. It just happens to be a little more spread out than what it was in the second half of the movie.
Yeah. But it's almost unfair to compare.
I'll strike that off.
Because I was going to say, because the second half of the movie is just like fucking perfection. I mean, like acting wise, like it is a use a cliche, it is a master class. Like, you have Robert Shaw giving that speech, just holy, oh man, I love Quint in this.
Richard Dreyfuss being like cool and snarky, like pretty much like optimal Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, he's being
like,
cool and snarky, but then like once like shit hits the fan, he's going into the water. Like, that's when you see he's really terrified when he's like, I got no spit. Like,
that might seem like a throwaway line, but like that's him saying like, I'm terrified right now. Like, I don't want to be doing this, but I have to do it.
Yeah. Oh man, I like the dinner scene too.
It earns every point of that 8. Oh,
because you're gonna want to let that breathe. Oh, okay. He just pours him.
Dumps the wine straight into his whiskey glass.
Giant glass of wine.
That's a man trying to outdrink his day.
Yep. Oh, I know that. Fucking.
Oh God, there's still whiskey in the bottom of that glass.
Yeah.
Straight to the fucking top.
He's got a good like 2 inches of whiskey in the bottom, and there's ice in it too. I just realized.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to let that breathe. Nope, I'm gonna want to get drunk. Is what I'm.
Yeah, I'm gonna just drink this. Holy shit! Are you ready for some trivia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to bother you with trivia.
I used to think they were kind of trivial.
It's time for a dad disclaimer. Guys, I love you. You're all my monster children. But IMDb had over 300 facts about this movie.
Jesus.
And I did not read through all of them. So yeah, this is on me, I guess. But I found some really fun ones. I was a little more discerning than I usually am. So I found some good shit. But I was not prepared to read through 300 facts.
Yeah, no, that's excessive.
That's too many. So here's the first one. According to director Steven Spielberg, the prop arm looked too fake in the scene where Chrissy's remains are discovered. So instead, they buried a female crew member in the sand with only her arm exposed. Which I don't know why they didn't just decide to do that from the jump.
Yeah.
Because that's cheaper and more realistic.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to make a fake
throw a little bit of green paint on the arm, bury you in the sand. Done.
Yeah, we're good. Let's get this shot and get the fuck out of here.
Yep, we're donezo. According to writer Carl Gottlieb, the line "You're gonna need a bigger boat" was not scripted, but was ad-libbed by Roy Scheider.
All right, that does explain
the commonly misquoted line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
If you notice the reaction that Robert Shaw has to it, that does explain, like, because he does look at him like quizzically, like, huh, what? So yeah, that totally explains that.
I thought it was hilarious though that he keeps saying it, like he keeps referencing it, like, we're gonna go get a bigger boat, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's commonly quoted as "we're gonna need a bigger boat," which it is not.
No, "you're gonna need a bigger boat."
Mm-hmm. Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss could not stand each other, and the two argued all the time, which resulted in some good tension between Hooper and Quint.
Yeah, I have heard that. I heard he was a complete bastard to Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, I bet. I absolutely bet, because there's gonna be another fact coming soon.
All right.
Yeah. Not this one though. According to the Making of Jaws documentary from 1995, the shooting star that appears during the night scene where Brody loads his revolver was real and not an optical effect.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
If that's real, which it didn't really look real, if that's real, how fucking lucky were they?
Yeah. There's two shots of shooting stars. The one where it's over his shoulder when he's loading the gun, that one is clearly the one that's animated. There's another one where there's like a far out shot of the boat and you see a shooting star, and maybe I don't know, maybe I'm getting them crossed, but like I think the one of the far off shot of the boat is the one that's real, if any of them are real.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I don't know why they would lie about that.
Yeah.
I just figured it was. I figured they were fake, and it was Spielberg because he loves aliens and shit like that.
Yeah,
him
so
doing like maybe it's a tie-in to some other movies that I might make. But I guess not. When it came time to shoot the infamous USS Indianapolis scene, Shaw attempted to do the monologue while intoxicated, as it called for the men to be drinking late at night. Nothing in the take could be used. So a remorseful Shaw called Steven Spielberg late that night and asked if he could have another try. The next day of shooting, Shaw's electrifying performance was done in one take.
Damn.
Yeah. So there was a second half of this fact that I cut out because I would rather just talk about it than read this gigantic fucking trivia fact. If Shaw was not shooting, he was drinking. So, yeah.
Oh,
he
man.
was a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah, I was just saying,
I guess there was
I know he was an asshole, but man, that makes me like him that much more.
So I guess there was a day where he was drunk and he was like, "Man, I wish I could stop drinking." Like they weren't shooting and they were just talking. So Richard Dreyfuss grabs his drink and just throws it in the fucking ocean.
I'm sure that went over well.
Yeah. They're like, "Nah, drink now." But yeah, that's the contentious bullshit that they did to each other. They just didn't like each other. Director Steven Spielberg said that when he first read the novel, he found himself rooting for the shark because the human characters were so unlikable.
Yeah,
and a lot of them stayed that way.
I've never actually read the book, surprisingly, but from what I understand, I know Hooper's wife, not Hooper's wife, Hooper and Brody's wife have an affair at one point.
What?
Yeah, I guess Brody's kind of an asshole too. They're just not, good people, I guess.
Huh. Well, goddamn.
And Hooper dies in the book too. Spoiler, from what I understand.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe he accidentally gets stuck with his shark dart.
Oh, that's stupid. Yeah. He could have at least gotten eaten by the shark, but it would have been cool. Director Steven Spielberg, named the shark Bruce after his lawyer. Which I guess if you have to name a shark, name it after your fucking lawyer.
Yeah, that would be the way to go.
Yeah. A little more Bruce fact here. 3 mechanical Bruces were made, each with a specialized function. One shark was open on the right side, one was open on the left side, and the third was fully skinned. And each shark cost approximately $250,000.
When you think about it,
which is a lot of money for sharks that don't work that well.
Yeah, that is true. They did not work great, but oh yeah. I was gonna say, well, if you spend $750,000, I mean, that's not bad. They looked okay, but yeah, they worked like shit. They sank a bunch of times.
And it's actually good that they did fuck up all those times, because not seeing the shark is so much more terrifying than seeing it all the time.
Yeah, so it builds the tension.
Yeah. Like watching the barrels fly around in the water instead of seeing like shark fins and shit like that.
And then just
It's so cool because you don't know what's happening underwater.
Yeah, like it makes that scene, like the bigger boat scene, like when you finally see it, like it is much more of a holy shit moment because like you haven't seen this thing the whole time. Like to see this giant.
Yeah, you've seen glimpses.
Yeah.
Like you see a little bit.
Yeah, this giant just chomping maw. Like whoa.
Yep. In addition to the well-known nickname of Bruce, Steven Spielberg also called the shark the Great White Turd when he became quite frustrated with the troublesome animatronic fish.
Yeah,
so
like we said, it was notoriously not functioning well.
Yeah, it was bunk. Turn my headphone volume down a little bit. I was getting a little loud for myself. I'm here.
Didn't he have like a nervous breakdown or something like after this movie?
Spielberg?
Yeah, I thought I remember hearing something like that.
Maybe.
Just because of like all the bullshit and like just the stress of trying to film like on the fucking water with the sharks that don't work.
Yeah, well, they also didn't like their timeline was fucked when they made this because like here's a perfect example. 9 days before the start of production, neither Quint nor Hooper had been cast.
Oh my lord!
So like that's the kind of shit that they were dealing with.
Yeah.
$750,000 worth of sharks that don't work properly, casting that still needs to be done. At one point, the boat that they were on sank, and they thought they had lost like an entire reel of film. But then they realized salt water doesn't actually damage film.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So there was a lot of shit that went on during the filming of this movie that I wouldn't blame him if he had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
But I don't. It may have been later on in the trivia facts, but I didn't see that.
It might have been like fact 267 or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Author Peter Benchley was thrown off the set after objecting to the climax. He also was fired for weighing the story down with too many subplots involving romance and mafia intrigue.
Mafia intrigue?
Yeah. I was trying to imagine, like, what the fuck would have been happening there. Like, can you imagine, like, Paulie Walnuts trying to collect, like, $3,000 for a fucking shark?
I don't care how many sharks are out there. I need my money. Oh, my God. Mafia. I mean, I guess, like, you could have maybe the mafia, like, owns a hotel or hotels or something, and, like, they don't want to lose money.
Maybe.
Like, they're pressuring him to keep the beach open.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wouldn't have been good. Like, I'm glad they threw his ass off the set.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where are we? To create the sound of a drowning woman during post-production, Suzanne Backlini, the actress that played Chrissy, was positioned head upturned in front of a microphone while water from above was poured down her throat.
Oh, so they waterboarded her.
They waterboarded this poor woman to get sound effects for a movie.
Oh my God. Like,
that's not okay.
Yeah, it's one of the, like, you just, I mean, like, the description of, like, okay, you lay down and somebody, like, pours water on you. Like, how bad can it be?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I guess she wasn't tied to a board. And she could, like, move, I guess. Still not cool. Richard Dreyfuss initially passed on the part of Hooper, saying that Jaws was a film he would love to watch, but not to make. Which
And he was right.
I'm curious if that. I'm curious if that meant like he didn't want to be on a boat, he didn't want to be in the water, like that kind of thing. If that was just not appealing to him,
probably. I mean, like just think about like, okay, we're going to be shooting for X number of weeks. You're going to be on a boat most of the time. Sometimes in the ocean, sometimes on a on a gigantic like man-made like lake, in the back lot.
You're going to be in a wetsuit in a cage, and we're going to throw a mechanical shark at you.
Yeah. And you're going to have to work closely with a guy who turns out you're going to hate.
Yeah. Robert Shaw is going to give you a hard fucking time.
He signed on specifically just to give you a hard time. It was weird.
He said, I hate that fucking Dreyfuss kid. Jaws was voted the 6th scariest film of all time by Entertainment Weekly, and I disagree. I like this movie. I guess for the time, it's way scarier than like my perception of it now. But it's still really not that fucking scary.
Think about it in terms of, though, like the psychological trauma inflicted. I mean, like to this day, I still have a little like, ooh, like.
Yeah, I wonder how much beach towns suffered for like a year or two after this came out.
I mean, like notoriously, like sharks certainly did. Like they killed a shitload of sharks. In the years after this movie.
Yeah.
And they still have a
actually the sharks that come ashore like rarely kill anybody.
Yeah. I saw a meme actually today. Like somebody had actually, it was like I'm tired of somebody had written, I'm tired of all this pro hippo propaganda, and they actually had like a comparison of like.
Pro hippo?
Yeah, because hippos are actually like the deadliest fucking animal. That you don't even realize it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that people don't realize that hippos are actually dangerous, and then go right up to them because they're lumpy and cute.
Oh, look at the cute animal! And then it inhales you and
it
chews you up
them.
with razor sharp teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like it was like public perception, and like they show like a drawing of a shark with like blood all over it, and like exactly like a cute hippo, and then it's like actual reality, and it's like the hippo with the big sharp teeth, and like the shark is the one that looks cute.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, they actually had like sharks kill like they said like 8 to 10 people worldwide a year, and then like hippos killed between like 500 to 3,000 just in their just in Africa.
Yeah. The problem is hippos are incredibly territorial.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever seen a hippo take a shit.
Oh, I have. Yeah. It's a cloud of shit that just erupts out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they wave their tail at the same time they're shitting, so it spreads it everywhere to mark their territory. It's disgusting. Which I realize is a weird question to ask somebody.
Have you ever seen a hippo take a shit? And me being like, absolutely, I have.
Yeah, sure have.
As a matter of fact, I have.
Fuck. All right, we'll move on to our next fact here. As the shoot ballooned from 55 days to 159 days, the budget likewise spiraling, the film earned the nickname amongst the crew, Flaws.
That's great.
Which is kind of hilarious when you think of a bunch of fucking union filmmakers going, hey, this fucking movie. They want to call it Jaws. It's more like Flaws. Again, it's like Paulie Walnuts is working on this fucking movie.
It's a nice shark you got there. Be a shame if something happened to it.
Holy Christ. there's so much of this movie was filmed like at water level, and like totally on purpose too. Like it's just like I'm sure you're at it now. Like the beach scene.
Yeah, where they're patrolling.
They're evacuating the water.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, like they could have shot that kind of overhead. They could have shot some underwater. It's all like at water level to give you that like you're involved feeling, which is fucking genius. I think a lot of it was filmed with like handy cam too.
Yeah, here you see the water like coming up across the lens, like.
Yeah.
This is also I was watching this. This might be honestly the most terrifying scene in the movie. Like, and like the shark doesn't even show up for another couple minutes. It's all the people like stampeding out of the water, just fucking like crushing each other just to get out. Like,
yeah, the panic, the panic is real. Like they're fucking terrified of two kids with a fake shark fin. I guarantee you, if this is real life, those kids are getting their asses beat.
Especially in the 70s.
Oh, like the neighbors are kicking the shit out of these kids. They're taking turns.
Yeah.
You know they are.
It's a community effort.
The fucking neighborhood beatdown. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, they're moving on to the pond. So this is going to be our last fact. And I always like to involve the maybe castings.
All right, yeah.
They're always pretty fun. You just reimagine the movie like with some of these people. Steven Spielberg's first choice for the role of Quint was Lee fucking Marvin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, despite his reservations about using big name actors, Spielberg wanted Lee Marvin to be cast in the role of Quint. Marvin thanked him, but replied that he would rather go fishing. I love Lee Marvin.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he is
I would like to see that.
Fucking man's man. Yeah.
To quote,
but that's the thing though, is Lee Marvin, I think it would have been too clean cut. Like, you never really see him like nasty, dirty, like grimy dude like Quint needs to be.
I was just gonna say, to quote The Simpsons, that's Lee Marvin. He's always drunk and surly. When they're watching Paint Your Wagon.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh man, have you ever watched Paint Your Wagon?
No.
Oh, buddy.
I think I saw like 5 seconds of Clint Eastwood singing, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I am out.
I cannot watch this if I ever want to enjoy like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly or Dirty Harry ever again.
Oh, I did, and I still can. Clint Eastwood movies are just my thing. Like, not any of the new ones, really.
Yeah.
Like, once he turned, like, into one of the California Raisins and decided that, like, his characters can still pull pussy, like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Said it before, and I'll say it again. The man is just made of leather and pipes. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's just a pipe frame.
Really is.
Yeah, covered with leather.
Oh, and he's fantastic. I love him. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Clint Eastwood. The movies he directs and produces are still fucking top notch. The movies he acted in were all fucking great. And I will argue for those monkey movies to the day I die. They're fun. And I know you don't like them, and you can suck a dick.
It's not that I don't like them. I don't know. I don't have an affinity for them, I guess.
Oh, man, I do. I guess it's because I grew up watching them. But
I mean, The Good, the Bad, and the
I don't
Ugly
know.
is one of my favorite Westerns for sure.
yeah. And realistically, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, not the best of the Dollars trilogy.
No, I definitely haven't seen all of them, but that's the one I've seen the most for sure.
Fistful of Dollars is so good. That's the one that's basically, well, it's not even basically, it is Yojimbo, but told from a Western standpoint.
All right.
Same as, it's the same story as Yojimbo. So that's Fistful of Dollars, and then Bruce Willis redid it in Last Man Standing in the like mid to late 90s, I think. But that was more of like a 30s gangster flick, 20s 30s gangster flick.
Yeah.
Either way you tell the story, it's just a good story. So now that we're done talking about Clint Eastwood,
Yeah. It is time to move on to the better known as.
sweet.
We will start off with the little known director of this movie, Steven Spielberg. I'm not sure.
Yeah, real independent guy, right?
Yeah, little
Like,
indie movies.
doesn't
You
do-
most likely have not heard of anything that he's done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, talking realistically for a second, I mean, if you grew up in the 80s or in 90s, like, he's the person responsible for your childhood, movie-wise, pretty much, anyways. I mean, where do you even start? I mean, like, Jurassic Park, fucking West Side Story. No.
Yeah, no thank you.
Sorry, I'm going backwards through. My mind is producing thing. I'm like, he did not direct Under the Dome. Yeah, there we go.
No.
He's directed 57.
Man, that had like one decent season, and then I never even knew that the second season hit TV.
I watched it and was disappointed by it in real time. Yeah. But yeah,
But like I watched it like when it was coming out, the first season. I was like, all right, we'll watch this, weekly. Me and Shelly were like, we both
it's on in
enjoyed
the
it.
summer. There's really nothing much else on.
But then like we never even knew that the second season was out. Like I never saw a commercial for it, never saw like an internet teaser trailer, like nothing. It was just, here it is.
I think it was like they had already canceled it by that point, so they were just like, ugh, here, watch it, you fucking savages.
Just have it.
But yeah, sorry, going back to Steven Spielberg, I mean, Indiana Jones, E.T., like we said, Jurassic Park, the movie that all the kids loved, Schindler's List.
Yeah.
But I mean, even his like more serious movies like Munich, I still haven't seen Lincoln, but I heard that's really great.
The one with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have not seen it, but it gets rave reviews. Like it's supposed to be phenomenal.
I did not realize he directed that Bridge of Spies movie with I think Gary Oldman. Now I need to check that out.
He directed it?
Yeah, it's in his. Directed it. Did not realize that.
No shit.
Yeah. I mean, Saving Private Ryan, also another classic. That's another movie I can pretty much just watch anytime it's on.
Yeah.
Hook. I mean,
Was it, that kind of launched Vin Diesel, didn't it?
yeah, because he has that small part in it. I think that's like right when he first started like getting things like Boiler Room and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think he got, like Knock Around Guys was shortly after that.
Yeah, it's all that same like late 90s era. God, we've been stuck with that asshole for like 25 years.
At least.
And the man is in his 50s.
It was funny. Like there was a meme going around for a little while, and it was him. There was a picture of him without his shirt on. He's like all fucking bloated and fat, and it was like a news article or something like that, and it was Vin Diesel on his yacht looking worse than ever. Like it was like somebody retweeted it and was like, Vin Diesel has a yacht. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Sure, he's getting older. He's getting fat. He's also rich. Fuck off. Like, I can't imagine getting, like, Vin Diesel rich and then giving a shit about what my body looks like.
Yeah.
Because I barely give a shit about what my body looks like
Yeah, and
now.
I am not Vin Diesel rich.
Far
Well,
from
if I
it,
were
sir.
Vin Diesel rich, I would pay people to give a shit about my body.
My God. At least have people, like, lined up and going, yeah, it's not so bad. It could be way worse.
Speaking of things that are bad, one of our guests for our upcoming watch along has just confirmed that they're going to be there, and in fact cannot wait to shit on the movie that we're going to be watching for it.
Oh, good. Where are they from? Do they?
Oh no! They're not. They're not the guests for the watch along. The watch along we're doing next Saturday. Yeah, the 9th.
Yeah. Okay.
We
I'm thinking of a different watch along.
Yeah,
no, that
different
wasn't a watch
guests.
along. That was okay.
Yeah.
We've got too much shit going on.
No,
We have a guest episode.
yeah, we have two.
We have guest episodes lined up.
We have 2 returning guests for the watch along, and then 2 new guests
Yes.
for a separate movie at the end of the month.
That's right.
Yeah, a preview of what's coming up, folks.
Also, don't mind me. I'm just fucking drunk.
I watched E.T. the other day, and
Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. I hate to say it, this movie is very overrated.
Yeah.
I will say it is one of the
that
first
lives-
movies I ever remember seeing in a theater. So like it does have that little like appeal for me. I was like 3, when I saw that. Other than that though,
that movie is good if you only look at it through a lens of nostalgia.
yeah, I think you kind of have to be a
that's
kid
it.
to enjoy it. Like, because as an adult, like if
Yeah.
I want to, if I want to watch a movie about an alien, like I want like, this is not the movie I'm going to. Like I'm gonna look for something with like action.
Yeah, obviously you're gonna watch Mac and Me.
Yeah, bingo. I want to be sold McDonald's products through the movie I'm watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know. It's just it's boring to me. Like, I don't know. I can't connect with it anymore. Maybe just because I'm older and like I'm not looking through it.
I think that's what it is because like my kids were watching it for a while. Like they wanted to see it. They watched it a couple of times. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it. But then like I watched it once with them. I was like, this movie is not that good anymore. Like,
Yeah.
so it has to be that lens of nostalgia and childhood wonderment,
Yeah.
if you will. Like,
I
because like that's who it's made for. It really is.
and we went to Universal Studios like a couple of years ago, probably like 2017 or 18, and they still have it's probably still there to this day that ET ride, which shocks the shit out of me. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is showing up
Yeah,
for the ET
'cause-
ride?
Yeah. I don't know who would give a shit about that. Not me.
Yeah. Let's see. But like I said, you are familiar with Steven Spielberg in one way or another. It is almost impossible for you to be listening to this podcast and not be familiar with at least one of his movies. I will even say I watched.
Yeah, that would.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like that would be the weirdest thing that has ever happened. Like if you have never seen, even by accident, a Steven Spielberg movie.
There's got to be a listing of this somewhere, but I wonder what the total gross of all of his movies is. It's clearly in the billions.
I think he is the leader in movie gross numbers. It's either him or
Cameron.
yeah, I can't.
But he hasn't Cameron hasn't made a movie in 10 years, and granted he has like way
Yeah,
more
but how
movies
much
than
money
we
did
want coming.
of Avatar make?
Yeah, way more movies than we want coming out over the next years, and they're all Avatar.
Yeah.
Think it, like this.
But I mean, he's got his two like fucking bangers are Avatar and like the Terminator movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Terminator
So
2 is
like that's a lot of fucking money. Right
yeah,
there.
is a cash juggernaut. I mean Titanic,
Yeah.
also a money making
Yeah.
machine.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Titanic was the first movie to make $1 billion, wasn't
I
it?
think you're right about that. I mean, even movies you're not thinking like The Abyss made a shitload of money.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure it did. What? I mean, like Cameron has some big movies. True Lies made a shitload of money.
That's true. I'm gonna check this out.
And like, I'm looking at his movie. Like, it's pretty consistent. Like, there's, I mean,
Oh wow, he's not even in the fucking top 5.
you're shitting me.
Yeah. So number 1 is Steven Spielberg.
Oh, Cameron's not. I thought you meant Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah. James Cameron is number 6.
Okay.
So, this is whack. Okay, so
Hold on. Justin Lin
Steven-
from Fast
Steven-
and Furious is going to be like in the top 5, isn't he?
nope.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Faith in humanity is
number-
still intact.
So number 1 is Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
with 10.6 billion.
That's
Then you have
insane.
the Russo brothers
Really?
with 6 billion. But here's the thing. Spielberg did it over 37 movies.
The Russos did it in like 4.
7.
Okay. They have Endgame, Civil War, Endgame, Infinity War, Winter
Yeah.
Soldier. What are the other 3? Oh,
I
21
don't know, but
Bridges.
Endgame was the biggest one.
Yeah.
So then you have Peter Jackson at 6.5 billion.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings definitely pulled in.
Oh,
some
I'm
of that.
sorry. Those are 6.5 billion. Mostly for the Lord of the Rings because Dead Alive was not bringing in that kind of money. Number 4, Michael Bay.
Ugh.
Yeah, at 6
This is those fucking
6.4.
Transformers movies.
100%.
Yeah.
And probably Bad Boys. David Yates, 6.3 billion.
He directed some of the Harry Potter movies, right?
Yep, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was his highest grossing. And then James Cameron at number 6 with 6.2 billion. Because Avatar made $2.8 billion.
Oof.
Which is actually the highest one on this list.
Yeah, it just actually reclaimed that from Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame was 2.798. Avatar was 2.847. Number 7 is Christopher Nolan, J.J. Abrams, then Tim Burton, then Ridley Scott. Oh, that makes me sad. So Ridley Scott is number 10 with $4.3 billion
Okay.
over 31 films. His highest grossing film was The Martian.
Really? That's a good movie,
Yeah.
though. I know you said you
I'm
hadn't
not
seen it.
I'm not trying to take anything away from The Martian, but
Yeah.
like it's fucking Ridley Scott, man. the only reason that The Martian is making the most money for him is because like Alien, when it came out, movie tickets were like $2.
Yeah, that's true. I still can't believe the Russos are that high on the list, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Fucking $6.8 billion worth of movies. They're averaging 977 million, or I'm sorry, yeah. $977 million per movie is their average.
Huh.
which is actually the highest on this list because they have the least amount of movies. It's gross.
I can't concur with that. I can watch Endgame endlessly. Same with Infinity War. Well, that movie is a bummer. Like a huge, huge bummer.
Yep. I want to watch this movie, be excited, and then leave sad.
Yeah, I want to watch all of my favorite heroes die, or at least half of them anyway.
Yep. All the ones I give a shit about.
Oh, hey, we're still talking about my segment. Sorry, I got distracted by.
Yeah, we sure are.
You had texted us of the photo of your gin. I just noticed that. Like, God damn, that's a lot of gin.
That big old frosty glass.
Moving on. Sorry, let me retake control of the segment. Roy Scheider, who of course plays Chief Brody in this, also has been in some notable roles over the years. He passed away in 2008. Voicing himself on The Family Guy was damn near his last role, which would have been weird. I mean, like, he's kind of like a serious actor, but whatever.
Yeah.
He had a lot of TV.
Well, I think...
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's the appeal of Family Guy for a lot of people, too, is, like, they will... It's, like, it's so popular that they'll get people who are just serious actors to want to be on it. Because, at one point, the quality of the show was really fucking high.
Yeah, so that used to be a thing.
Not so much anymore. Yeah, that was.
I think I abandoned that, like, maybe a year or two after they came back on Fox. Like, after they got canceled. It was just like a switch went off. Like, this just
I don't think I watched
anymore.
too much of it after they came back either.
Yeah. It's just like, why am I laughing at this? This isn't funny.
Yeah. It's very samey.
Let's see. He played Frank Castle Sr. in the terrible Punisher movie from 2004.
Ooh, that's the one with Thomas Jane, right?
Yeah, I really did not enjoy that movie.
That's because it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody who loves the Punisher. Like, the Punisher is my homeboy.
He, like, barely killed anyone in that movie. Like, he spent most of the time, like, blowing up, like, pallets of money and stuff. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, I think that was before Marvel was like, all right, you guys can have rated R movies.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to, like, clean this up and make it, respectable.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well not even make a Punisher movie.
I forgot that he played the captain on Sequest. That was a movie I definitely watched in the mid-90s.
Sequest? I remember a show. I don't think I watched a movie.
No, it was a show. I don't think it wasn't a movie. Unless it was like, they were like TV movies.
Oh.
It was only on for 47 episodes. It felt like a little bit longer. If you're not familiar, there was Star Trek underwater, basically.
Yeah. 47 episodes of that was what? Well, it's either like 2 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, it was 93 to
Depending
95. So probably 2 seasons.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, maybe like... Because, your average TV season at that point was like 22 or 23 episodes. So, yeah, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving back. It was in 2010, the sequel to 2001. I remember seeing that in the drive-thru when I was a kid. I was probably 5 at the time, apparently.
I didn't like 2001.
He was in Blue Thunder. There's the high-tech helicopter movie in the early 80s.
Oof.
He's in the movie I've heard is actually very, very good. I have not seen it. The 7-Ups. They just played it on like TCM recently for like the first time in like years that it's been on anywhere. And I did not get the chance to watch it. A tough detective who is part of an elite New York City unit is trying to find out who killed his partner, but uncovers a plot to kidnap mobsters for money. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Roy Scheider's the cop.
Yeah, he's a very cop look.
Yeah.
He's
I definitely need to watch this movie.
He's got the same facial structure as James Woods.
Yeah, very angular. Like, yeah.
It's just like angular, very rigid.
He was also in another classic cop movie, The French Connection, which is just
Oh,
awesome.
it's so good.
Yeah. One of the best car chase scenes in a movie that you'll ever see.
Gene Hackman as Popeye Doyle.
Yeah. You ever pick your feet in Poughkeepsie?
All right. Okay. So you gotta pin down greatest car scene in any movie.
Oh shit!
Where are you going?
Shit. French Connection is definitely in there.
Yeah.
You have that fucking De Niro, Ronin. That had some great car chases in it. That was a De Niro action movie from like the 90s. I will say The Dark Knight and the most recent Batman have great, amazing car sequences. I mean, The Dark Knight, you have the whole thing where they're chasing the Joker, and that's where like at the end you find out that Jim Gordon isn't dead. He pulls the shotgun on the Joker on his head. He's like, "I got you, you son of a bitch."
Was that the scene where the Joker was hanging out of the cop car, just like with his hair blown in the breeze?
That was after he escapes from jail. This is when they arrest him. This is
okay.
Yeah, like they are transporting Harvey Dent, and they're expecting the Joker to come after him, and it's like it's a big like decoy. Yeah. This is after you think Jim Gordon has been killed, and like Batman like crashes and like wrecks off the fucking Bat Pod there, like, and the Joker's like about to shoot him or something. And that's when fucking Gordon shows up with a shotgun, and like saves Batman. That whole.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, that was really really good.
And then
I'm gonna go with a more. I don't want to say stereotypical, but it's a more like well known for being a good car scene. Is Bullet with Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just like they're going through San Francisco hills.
Yes. And you can take your pick of awesome car scenes from any of the Mad Max movies as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like each movie has at least one amazing like chase sequence.
Yeah.
But I will say probably The Road Warrior is my favorite out of all those. Probably second to Fury Road. Or Fury Road being second to that.
Well, Road Warrior was the second one, right?
Yeah. Mad Max is the first one. Then The Road Warrior. And then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Which I also saw on the drive-in when I was a kid.
Fucking love Thunderdome. Fucking Tina Turner.
Break a deal, spin the wheel.
That's right. You know the rules of Bartertown?
Who run Bartertown?
Show enough?
Oh, Master Blaster.
Yep.
Let's see, anything else? I don't want to cut anything out. Yeah, Roy Scheider's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He's an actor-y ass actor.
Yeah. Usually like a figure of authority of some sort. Whatever role he's playing. Moving on, we have Robert Shaw, and again, puts in a memorable performance in this movie. It just one of my favorite of anything on film ever.
Yeah.
This great big Chinese fella pulled me right over. I was in San Francisco celebrating the demise of my third wife.
The demise, yeah.
You see that? I can't extend that.
Such a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
So we're obviously watching pretty much the same scene.
Yeah.
The best acting in this scene, like, Robert Shaw is fucking phenomenal, okay? Never gonna take anything away from that. I have sat drunk as fuck, breathing the same way that Richard Dreyfuss is breathing.
Yeah.
Pretending to be drunk. Just like hard breathing, sweaty, haven't done a fucking thing.
I'm sitting still and out of breath.
I have been that fucking drunk, and that is the perfect portrayal of that. God, he's one drink away from throwing the fuck up. I know it.
Oh, man. God damn, I love Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
There's a great scene that was cut. I'm sure you can find it. I've even seen it, like, when it's on, like, TNT. Sometimes they'll throw in, like, some of the deleted scenes, and I've seen it there.
Oh, really?
It's, you know, it's earlier. I think it's right before they take off on the boat. It's him, like, going into town with, like, his assistant there. The dude who, like, never says a word. He's just always there by his side.
Yep.
And they're going into a music shop. And there's a kid playing... fuck, I forget what the song is. That song.
Okay.
Because he's like, it's the kid's playing it, and like Robert Shaw is like gets into his face and is like doing that, like ba 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 ba, like as he's doing it.
Yeah, he was probably drunk.
Most likely, yeah. But he's there to buy piano wire. And like the guy at the store is asked him like, you know, why are you always buying so much piano wire? He's like, I use it for fishing. He's like, oh, what do they like? He's like, what do they eat this stuff? He's like, no, they choke on it. Like, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fucking Robert Shaw is hardcore.
Fucking brutal.
Let's see. He passed away.
Actually, what he's using it for is a leader, and it's also used in regular fishing. It'll be like a piece of metal where your hook is attached. It's just so the fish can't bite through your line. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Actually,
let's see. Robert Shaw. Yeah, he's been in a ton of good movies. He was in The Deep in 1977. Also the same year, he was in Black Sunday. He was a terrorist with a plot to use a blimp to drop poison darts over the Super Bowl.
what the fuck?
He was in Robin and Marion in 1976. That was with...
Errol Flynn?
No, it was Sean Connery, and who played Marion in that? It was like an older Robin Hood and Maid Marian like story.
Okay.
Who the hell? Oh, Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, Sean Connery and Audrey Hepburn play.
That's wild.
He played the Sheriff of Nottingham. Robert Shaw did.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, going back to Robert Shaw. Taking of Pelham 123. That was the year before Jaws. He was in The Sting, another contender for like one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, 1973. He's the Oracle of All Knowledge. Uncredited role. Excuse me. There's one thing I know I want to get to. I just want to see if there's anything in between. He was in The Man for All Seasons as King Henry VIII, 1966. But, I mean, outside of Jaws, the role that he is most notable from is probably 1963. He is in From Russia with Love. He plays Red Grant, who is like an assassin working, against James Bond. From Russia with Love, definitely one of the better James Bond movies, especially that era.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. My personal favorite is Goldfinger, but I could definitely understand the argument for From Russia with Love being the better of them.
Best James Bond? Oh, boy. That's hard because, like, You've got some of the more serious ones.
Yeah,
and
there's
you've
different
got
eras, there's different styles.
The really goofy like ones. I love the goofy ones.
Oh, see, that's where it loses me. Like, I hate Diamonds Are Forever. What are some of the other like more goofy ones? Like Roger Moore gets into some shitty ones.
He does. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. Like, I love Goldfinger. Dr. No is good. I'm much more of a... Like, it's gonna sound like it's stereotypical, but like, I'm a Sean Connery guy. Like, that's...
Yeah, same here. For me,
That's
it's
James
Connery,
Bond
and then Daniel Craig. I will say is my number 2.
I like the early Roger Moore stuff. They did get like really like overly cartoony with him.
Yeah, I will say
end.
Live and Let Die is one of my favorites, and that one is kind of cartoony. I don't think it's as over the top as some of the other ones.
No,
but I mean, he does have a good one. He has Live and Let Die, Man with a Golden Gun.
Yeah,
there's another one like
Moonraker was fun. Like,
that's not one of my favorites though.
You don't like it?
Oh Christ! What was the other one? There's 2 where the redneck sheriff shows up.
Oh,
it's Live and Let Die. And then
Thunderball.
There's one where like he's in Southeast Asia. And it's that southern sheriff.
Oh Jesus.
God damn it. I can't believe I can't answer this question. Hold on. Now I have to fucking look it up.
Yep. Yeah. Is a Roger Moore one?
Yeah. Roger Moore. Let's see.
I think he did the most of them, didn't he?
Possibly. I'm going to kick the shit out of myself once I see the title of this.
You sure are.
I will say, even though this, like, he's ridiculously old in it, I enjoy A View to a Kill.
Oh, yeah. I like that he stopped, like, Roger Moore stopped doing them because he felt like it was ridiculous that his character was, like, he was old, but, like, the character was still, like, just trawling for pussy. And he was like, it just doesn't fly anymore.
Live and Let Die, Man with the Gold. Maybe I am thinking Man with the Golden Gun is the one where the other guy shows up. I don't know. I have watched a lot of James Bond over the years.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from.
Anyway, let me get back to the movie that we're actually supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just finished Robert Shaw. We'll close him out. Moving on to Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, you also might be familiar with some of the movies he's been in over the years.
Looks like I broke Mr. Holland's opus.
Mr. Holland's opus, of course, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is another Spielberg movie I would put into the category of E.T. Like, I don't have a nostalgia connection to that because I honestly did not see that movie until I was like maybe almost into my 30s. I definitely.
I don't think I've
at the very least.
I don't think I've ever
20s.
seen the whole thing.
I just I don't know. To me, it's also like just boring. It's not like I don't know. I know there are people who very much love that movie. If I'm looking for a Spielberg movie, that's not the one. If I'm looking for a good alien movie, that's not the one. Also, either.
No. Definitely not better than Star Wars.
Yeah. Wink. Anywho, his the quality of the movies that he has been in as of recently is not great.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that he most people just haven't heard of. A lot of Christmas movies. So I'm assuming like Hallmark movies probably.
The last thing that he was in that I remember really enjoying was Tin Man.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm trying to
I
the
don't know if
last
you-
thing I actually remember him being in. Actually, he was in that movie Polar in 2019. That was that Mads Mikkelsen John Wick ripoff.
Oh, yeah. That was not great.
No, it was not. He was Bernie
I think
Madoff.
that was based on a comic book, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was Bernie Madoff in a TV miniseries. I vaguely remember that being out.
Is that not the best name that guy ever could have had?
Madoff.
Yeah.
He was in the movie Red with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and Helen Mirren. That was a pretty decent movie.
First one was great.
Yeah, the second one not so
Also,
much.
also comic book.
Yes. Piranha 3D, where he's basically playing like a
Oof.
Matt Hooper type.
Yeah.
His name is Matt Boyd. He played Dick Cheney in the movie W by Oliver Stone. That was one where Josh Brolin was George Bush. Oh, here's Tin Man miniseries. That was 2007.
Jesus Christ. I love that. That was really fucking good. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh, was that the? It was like a retelling of Oz,
Deschanel.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not watch it, but I remember it now. Yeah.
It was surprisingly really good.
Huh. All right. There we go. Going back to Richard Dreyfuss. He also voiced himself in Family Guy in at least an episode or two.
I think everybody has. I'd be shocked if you didn't.
I'm actually scheduled next week. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of the late. Oh, I was going through this earlier, and this is a movie I completely 100% forgot about up until right now. And I'm sure Richard Dreyfuss and the people who made this movie are probably appreciative of the fact that most people have forgotten about it. Do you remember the movie Krippendorf's Tribe?
The title is very familiar.
It's Touchstone movies. This is put out by Disney. It is a movie that I can guarantee you would 100% not get made today. It's from 1998. He is an anthropologist who fakes discovering a tribe of natives in either in Africa or South America or something.
Oh, yeah.
By putting his family in brown face and filming them doing stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that 97?
98.
Yeah. That tracks.
There's some recognizable names. Stephen Root. Natasha Lyonne. Jenna Elfman was his wife. Good Lord. Yeah, I don't think they were making the brown face movie today if that was the case.
Wait.
Let's see. I was in the movie Stakeout in the 80s. That was a comedy drama. It was him and Emilio Estevez.
I think the correct term for that is dramedy.
Dramedy, yes.
Yeah.
Close Encounters we mentioned. That was 77. I thought that was right after Jaws, maybe within a year, but I am wrong.
Well, it's not that far off.
2 years.
Jaws was 75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had a lot of. He was in the
what
movie
did he-
American Graffiti also, which I've never.
I was going to
actually
say, I
seen.
think he was in American Graffiti right before this.
Yeah, it was 73. I've never actually seen that movie.
It's not that great.
It's basically Happy Days, the movie. Before. Happy Days was based on it, I believe.
Yeah. I am almost 100% positive it was.
Yeah. He is in something that is almost a prerequisite credit on this show. It's not quite Murder, She Wrote level. He was in an episode of Gunsmoke in 1973.
Jesus.
He did a lot of one-off TV stuff throughout the years. He was on an episode of The Mod Squad, Ghost and Mrs. Muir. He was in the movie The Graduate, Valley of the Dolls. He was in an episode of Bewitched. It was 1966.
Holy shit.
Yeah, his first credits 1964. So Richard Dreyfuss has been around. Moving on, we have Lorraine Gary. She plays, I can't remember her first name, Ellen Brody. There we go. She also is really not in a lot of stuff. She is in a lot of one-off TV things here and there. Her first role is in the 1967 revival of Dragnet. After that, looks like she's in the TV series McCloud, The Virginian. She was in an episode of Night Gallery.
Night Gallery was weird. Like, I have seen a bunch of it, and it's like you would have an episode that was like really, really good, and then you would have like a whole stream of them that were just shit.
Yeah, it was the show. If you're not familiar, it was the show that Rod Serling did after the Twilight Zone, and basically, I think if I remember correctly, at that point, like he wanted like something of the quality of the Twilight Zone, but he just didn't want to do all the work like he had been doing it on that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he wrote so much of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And I think he produced a shit ton of it too.
Yeah, I think he just produced Night Gallery and then like hosted the opening segments because it was about like paintings. There was like each painting there's a story for.
Right.
And yeah, it just was not of the quality that Twilight Zone was, from what I understand, anyway.
No, not even close.
She was on Kojak. She was on 7 episodes of Ironside, which was Buddy Ebsen as a detective in a wheelchair.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then after Jaws, she really isn't in much. She is in a couple of movies in the 70s, maybe looks like maybe 6 or 7 between 75 and then 79. One of them being Jaws 2, another one being Steven Spielberg's 1941, which a lot of people in this movie are actually in. I've never seen that all the way through either. Not one of Spielberg's finest, unfortunately. And her last movie is Jaws: The Revenge in 1987. And before that, it was 1941, which was in 1979. Sorry to throw a lot of dates at you like that very quickly.
Yeah. That's too many numbers for me right now, dog.
Moving on, Murray Hamilton, owner of the fucking flyest jacket I have ever seen, Mayor Vaughn.
Anchors for days, bitch.
Anchors, son, all up and down this motherfucker. He died in 1986. He had...
Bless up.
Yeah, he had, before he went, he had a role in The Golden Girls, which I actually remembered once I read the name. I remember that episode. His character's name was Big Daddy Hollingsworth. And he was like a dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, that Rue McClanahan's character fucked back in Louisiana, back in the day or whatever. I just I don't know why I remembered that, but
just swamp stomping.
Popped right out of my memory. Yep, swamp stomping. But aside from owning the best damn jacket on the planet, in 1984 he was on Murder, She Wrote. Playing the character of Bud Michaels.
Just once?
Just once, just the one. He would die 2 years after that, so. He was on the...
At least he went on top.
Same year he was on an episode of the show Mama's Family, which I definitely remember. It was like a syndicated show.
I love Mama's Family.
I used to watch the shit out of Mama's Family.
Yep. I would sit at my grandparents' house and watch it all summer.
Yeah, it was just always on.
Yep.
BJ and the Bear, he was in 15 episodes of that. He was also in 1941. He plays Father Ryan in the Amityville Horror. If I did not remember that.
Oh, okay.
And then he plays Mayor Vaughn again in Jaws 2, which is clearly inferior to any of the... well, specifically the Jaws, but it's, I would say, my least favorite of the Jaws movies.
What? They made 4 Jaws movies?
Yes. Which is surprising. I'm amazed that they haven't tried to cash in on that license more in almost 35. Oh, it is 35 years. Holy shit.
Well,
87 was when that came out.
I'm just gonna say Sharknado ruined it because you can't make a serious shark movie now.
It's true.
I think I've seen Jaws 2. Maybe I've seen, because Jaws 3 was 3D, right?
Yeah, it's the one
They
set
were-
in
they jumped on
SeaWorld,
board
and then
on that.
I've watched 3 and 4 a shitload. But 2, I just couldn't get on board with 2.
Yeah. I don't want to watch any of them.
It's just, and it
Other
feels
than
like
the original.
less good Jaws. It feels like it's the deleted scenes from this movie.
Yeah, because I mean, like you can't do anything else that wasn't already in this movie and have it be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like this is drama. This is like a little bit of comedy, just to kind of ease it up a little while. But like, where do you go from here? Like, how do you make a shark movie that is better than what's presented here?
And not to mention, you lost your best character at the end of the first movie.
Yeah. And what I think 2 characters are the only ones that come back. Three maybe.
You have the mayor, you have Brody, and you have his wife.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think that's it. Yeah. He was also on Gunsmoke, Mayor Vaughn. That was
shit.
back in the 50s, though.
That makes sense.
He was also on Perry Mason in the 50s. Which they did a revival of on HBO like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I heard it was good.
It was actually
it was
really
good.
good. It was set in like
Yeah.
San Francisco in like the 1930s, like during the Depression. It was very good. Moving on, Carl Gottlieb, who we mentioned a little bit earlier. He is most known as the writer of this, and actually I think all of the Jaws movies. He did screenplay on Jaws 2, 3.
Can you imagine being like at a Hollywood party and they're like, "Oh, hey, what do you do?" I wrote all the Jaws movies.
Yeah, he did not do 4, so he's off the hook for that one.
Yeah.
He did a Muppet segment on Saturday Night Live. He did some stuff for The Odd Couple. He wrote a couple of screenplays there. Sorry, there was something and I went past it. And now, he did the screenplay for The Jerk, and unfortunately, The Jerk 2.
Ooh.
But aside,
One of those is awesome.
yeah, exactly. One of those is good. Oh my God, he's also, as far as acting, he's in The Sting 2. Not The Sting.
What the
Also, no.
fuck?
The Sting number 2, as in the sequel to The Sting, which is not as good as The Sting.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
he
That's abysmal.
has some acting roles here and there. He's Meadows in this movie. He was in MASH. I did not know the movie. Good for him. But I kept him on here. He really doesn't have many memorable roles, except in The Jerk. He is Iron Balls McGinty in The Jerk.
Fantastic.
He was also in Johnny Dangerously, too. And in Clueless.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Johnny Dangerously does not get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, no, that is a great movie. Comedy from the mid-'80s with Michael Keaton, Joe Piscopo.
Yeah. That's it. Stop there.
Yeah. My mother hit me once.
Once. This is what shoots through schools. That joke will never not be funny. I mean, it's, I guess, not contextually funny,
Yeah, I guess.
but
it's,
in our time space
in
right
our
now,
current, society, it's kind of not funny, but whatever.
in movie land, that's fucking hilarious.
Moving on, we have Jeffrey Kramer. He was Hendrix, the deputy who throws up at the beginning when they find Christie's body.
Oh yeah,
He had done some producing. He did the show Ally McBeal, The Practice. He did like 5 episodes. Oh no, I'm sorry. He did all of the episodes of both of those. Produced them anyway.
still have never seen a single episode of Ally McBeal.
Yeah, same here. He did some producing for the show Chicago Hope. But like I said, he did some acting as well. Also, he was on Ally McBeal. He was on an episode of the show from the 80s, another syndicated show called Out of This World, which is, I think, another show that would not get made today. It was about this girl who, like, her whole life she's raised by, like, a single mom. She finds out, like, when she turns, like, 15 or something like that, that her father is actually, like, an alien. And like she like develops the like different powers, and like one of them is the power to like freeze time, so like she can freeze time and like still move around. Yeah.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say most like pubescent boys from that time wish they had the power to freeze time.
Yep.
Anyway, on a less pervy note,
Whatever do you mean, Christopher?
as I said, that's why they would not make that show today, at least not with a male lead. But it was it was a female lead at the time. Anyway, he was in Santa Claus the movie, which still gets trotted out on Christmas every now and again.
That's abysmal.
He's in the movie Clue. Both of those are in 1985. Anything else?
Was he in Clue?
The Motorist. He was in an episode of The Incredible Hulk. He is also in Halloween 2. His character is Graham. I'm assuming...
That's a good-ass movie.
Yeah, I'm assuming, like, deputy, like another cop or something. He is in MASH, the TV series. Sergeant Morgo.
Like, repetitively?
No, just 2 episodes. He's a driver in one, and then Sergeant Morgove in another one. He plays Hendrix again in Jaws 2. And other than that, that's really about it. Oh, I'm sorry. His first role was in Barney Miller, which is a sitcom from the 70s. That's actually still pretty good.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Like, it was like a funny cop show, right?
Yeah. It takes place in like a detective like unit in like the 70s.
Yeah. My old the band I was in, our drummer's father would always break my balls because I wouldn't learn the Barney Miller theme song. Yeah. Boom, ba-da-doom, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-doom.
I just remember like that and MASH, like were the shows that came on after the news, like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my dad would watch the news, and then Barney Miller, and then MASH. I think they were all on Channel 6.
I will say it every time I have the opportunity to say it. MASH is the best show that's ever been on television.
Moving on, Ted Grossman. He is actually a stuntman. Does some acting in this. Mainly though, he is a stuntman who has been in pretty much everything Steven Spielberg has done. So he's been in some big movies.
Sweet.
He's been in all of the Indiana Joneses, except Last Crusade. It looks like he's in Crystal Skull, Temple of Doom.
He's in what?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either. I've never actually.
I don't know. I remember them saying like they might make one of those movies, but they never did.
Just some of the movies going through the list that he did stunts on. Indiana Jones. Oh, yeah, that movie that we won't mention. True Crime. That was a Clint Eastwood movie in 1999. Naked Gun 33 1/3. Naked Gun 2 1/2. He did stunts in the Tour of Duty TV show on CBS. That was a Vietnam show.
Mm-hmm.
Gung Ho, Cocoon, Cloak and Dagger, Temple of Doom, Mr. Mom, Return of the Jedi, Flashdance, E.T. Jaws 2 and Jaws, Starsky and Hutch, The Show, The Godfather Part 2.
Well, there's some quality.
Yeah. Tora, Conquest of the Planet
Also
of the
quality.
Apes. One of the better of the Apes movies.
Yeah. Was that the third
The
one?
fourth one. It's
Fourth.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. That's the one that takes place in modern times. And then Conquest, which is the zombie movie, Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
But then he's also an actor. He is in. Okay, so he is in all of the Indiana Jones movies. He doesn't do stunts in all of them. He is in 3 out of supposedly 4 Indiana Jones movies, playing the same character. It looks like in each one, and oh no, I'm sorry. He plays a different character in Last Crusade, but in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, which is the ride at Disneyland. He plays the same character, and again in Crystal Skull, Peruvian Porter.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I do not remember this character being in all these movies, but in Last Crusade he plays a deputy sheriff. And I will say that Temple of the Forbidden Eye ride in Disneyland, goddamn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize they had an Indiana Jones ride there, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh, we're definitely going on this, and it was worth the wait. It was a really cool ride. Yeah.
Never been to any of those big parks.
Yeah, it's a fun place to drink, that's for sure. He's in the Goonies. He was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt that we have mentioned many, many times before. Television Terror, the one with Morton Downey Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a TV shock journalist gives an on-air tour of an eerie haunted house. Yeah.
That episode was freaky as shit.
Yeah, I remember that one scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was 1990. So yeah, I was 11 when I saw that. Me and my cousin watched that unattended. Parenting in the 80s and 90s, folks, not what it was. Speaking of that, I saw the black.
No,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we had a VHS tape that my uncle had recorded, and half of it was Tales from the Crypt with that episode on it. And the second half was some weird HBO kids show where people dressed in costumes and recreated events from history.
Encyclopedia.
Or some shit.
Whoa, hold on.
It might have been.
Yeah, I remember that show. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. I had to kill the movie stopped and Jaws 2 started automatically playing.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I remember that show, Encyclopedia. Well, I'm going to have that goddamn theme song stuck in my head for a week now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I was going to say, I saw the Black Phone the other night. And yeah, speaking of
How was it?
It's fucking really good.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I recommend it. It takes place in the 70s with where also lackluster parenting was the standard. And yeah, that definitely drives the plot of the movie. It's really creepy. It's a good movie. Ethan Hawke.
It's getting good reviews.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke
everywhere.
is creepy as fuck in that movie.
Sick.
Moving on, Lee Fierro. She played Mrs. Kintner. I do not remember that character being in Jaws: The Revenge, but apparently she is. It's really. She has 4 acting credits, and 3 of them are Mrs. Kintner.
That's nuts.
Yeah. That's really all. She was the only thing she's not This is 2016. Was she still alive then? Yeah, she only died in 2020. She was in the movie in 2016, The Mistover Tale. But other than that, it was Jaws deleted scenes, Jaws the Revenge, and then the original Jaws. And finally, our last IMDb entry here is none other than Peter Benchley. This is a little bit of a trivia fact, a little bit of a better known as Peter Benchley is the author of the novel Jaws. You mentioned earlier he was thrown off of the set for disagreeing with the writing choices, I guess. Which, whatever. I mean, he wrote the book; it's probably his baby, so he, understandably upset. But whatever, you sold it. Fuck off. Get out of here.
I don't think he knew dick about sharks when he wrote it, though. So
if I remember correctly, I want to say like he was a photographer mainly who like ended up like getting an assignment to photograph sharks, and then like that's how he got interested in sharks, and like ended up writing the book Jaws.
Yeah.
I could also be like making that up. Who knows?
It's very possible.
Yeah. I just know that one of the guys who okay, I'm fucking it up. He based Jaws on a photography book about sharks, and the photographer for that he remember that show, I don't know if you saw it. It was an HBO, God, maybe like 15 years ago. It was Band of Brothers. It was like probably right after, not a couple of years after.
I recall it.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
One of the guys in that company that show's about, Easy Company, he was the photographer who photographed the sharks that Peter Benchley based the book Jaws off of.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a long way to go for that connection, but there we go.
Yeah. That's distant through space and time.
Yeah, and substances. But that'll do it for the better known as segment for Jaws.
All right. That was pretty hefty.
That was, yeah. I actually I trimmed down some stuff. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but yeah. Surprise!
I think our side tangents made it just way worse.
Yeah.
Than it needs to be. Like we normally do.
I also think what I'm going to do from now on is get credits ahead of time to cut down on the amount of scrolling that we do in episode.
Oh yeah.
Just to tighten up those segments, make it a little bit shorter.
Oh Jesus! I just smacked my microphone.
Usually do that in the morning when no one's around, but
only when God's watching. Yeah. All right, we're on to the crapshoot. Yeah.
I've said it earlier, say it again. God damn it, this is one of my favorite movies.
And I could understand why. 100% understand why. It just I don't love it. Like, I don't want to see it immediately again.
That's my compulsion though. Like, literally, if when we stop recording, if I turn on TV and like I just happen to see it, well, I guess I'm staying up until Jaws is over. Like, it's that level. Jesus. Of
yeah. That sounds like an addiction.
Yeah, I think that would be a compulsion. Yeah, technically speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it probably for a few months. If I see it again, I might might check it out.
That we are recording I had
to rent it.
You did? Oh, it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
It's on the cock.
Well, it's on Peacock it's on the cock if you have premium. I don't. I have to sign into my sister-in-law's account, and I couldn't remember the information.
Oh. I was going to say, given that we're recording this on, ahead of 4th of July weekend, there is almost a 100% chance that this movie's going to be on this weekend. And if I come across it, I'm probably going to be watching Jaws this weekend.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to watch that much TV this weekend. I don't really watch that much TV
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna be
at all anymore.
I'm not gonna be. Yeah, yeah. The only time I really watch like TV is on like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon when I'm just looking for something to have on in the background. If I'm like, getting a podcast set up, or if I'm just like futzing around doing something.
Now, me and Shelly go back and forth all the time about like, do we really need cable? Like, nobody watches it.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I
like
have
that
it,
kind of thing.
but I have like every streaming service. The only thing I really watch, like aside from those weekend things, I will throw on like CNN in the like if I'm working from home, like I'll throw on CNN.
I like sports, man. I like sports.
Yeah, but I mean, you can
Sometimes
get a lot of
that's
that.
the only way to get them.
Increasingly, you can get more of that stuff on like Amazon Prime and stuff like that, like Hulu.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta watch those Dallas Cowboys games.
I wish I could get back into football, man. Fucking Giants are terrible. I think I mainly miss like Sunday afternoons, like everybody hanging around, like eating horrible food and just watching football.
Yeah. Football has always been more of a solitary thing for me, but I do love a Super Bowl party.
Oh no! Like when I lived in Albany, like our apartment was like the Sunday place. Like, just come over. We're gonna be watching football. We're gonna be drinking. We're gonna be ordering wings and stuff. Like,
yeah,
just come over. It was just a rotating like cast of people all day on Sundays.
Yeah, you're gonna catch the game, and your stomach's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Holy crap! We went at this for 2 hours already today.
No shit, 2 hours and 16 minutes on my end anyway.
Oh, you must have started recording a little bit before me.
Yeah, I think I did. I know I did.
Yeah. I'm at 2:10 right now.
Yeah, I'm at 2:16.
So, I think we're going to wrap this shit up.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we're going to do. Before we wrap it up, I'm going to tell you all the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side-scroller beat-em-up game.
Yes.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge, get on that.
If you are just into like a button masher, it is absolutely that. But at the same time, it also has room for you to actually like learn like move sets and like
there's combos, there's specialty moves.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like it's just I was saying this in the group text the other day. Like I've been punishing myself with Elden Ring since like February. Yeah. That like the last two games I bought have just been like they're both nostalgia like based, and they're both just pure enjoyment. I bought Shredder's Revenge, and then I bought the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake, and like all
I've been thinking about getting those.
Yeah,
the Tony Hawk games.
It was definitely a good pickup. Like I like it's just fun. It's enjoyment. Like, and it's also a throwback to like, a much simpler time, like the early 2000s.
Oh yeah. The fucking PlayStation 1 days.
Yep. I remember like just I put it on. I'm like immediately like I'm in my bedroom in my parents' house. Like, yeah, just sitting on my bed playing like PlayStation, Tony Hawk.
Was it one of those things where like you were kind of nervous about it and then you turn it on and you just like breathe that just like that full body just like
I completely forgot that the first board in Tony Hawk is set in Albany.
What?
Yeah, it's Albany, New York. It's a warehouse. It looks like the Tobin's warehouse, basically.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't ever recall seeing a name, like a city name attached to any of those places.
Once I saw it, I remembered it. I'm like, holy fuck, that's right.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of Albany warehouses, did you see the fucking that eyesore right off of 787? The fucking that warehouse that's been
the refrigerated warehouse.
Yeah, the one that caught fire a couple of years ago, and they just let it burn on the inside.
Yeah, you can't fight a fire in there.
No,
and B,
you can't get in there.
Yeah. B, would it be the worst thing in the world if it burned down?
It really wouldn't.
Yeah.
But the apparently that guy owes like $600,000 in back taxes.
Yeah, the city actually auctioned the building out from under him for
Yeah,
not paying.
which he was fighting because they technically couldn't do when they did that.
Yeah. But anyway, why did you bring that up?
Oh, because you said warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every 6 months or every year, you'll see there's a new owner for this warehouse. They have all these plans to I remember a couple years ago they were going to turn it into the bottom floor was going to be retail and businesses, and they're going to make apartments and there's a train turntable still from the original warehouse they're going to keep there and put a model a replica train on it and then that all just never happened. And then this
I think the most recent idea was that it was going to be an
artist collective,
like an art institute, artist collective,
and that of course never happened. Now this guy owes thousands upon thousands of back taxes. Literally, you just need a gallon of gas and a book of matches. That will take care of the fucking building.
No,
actually,
because it didn't.
The top, I think, 3 floors.
The whole outside of it is cement, so it's never gonna go anywhere.
Well, no, it's the top 3 or 4 floors are refrigerated and have never been turned off, so they are frozen solid.
Are you shitting me?
I kid you not. Yeah. It's ice from floor to ceiling. Some of it may have melted during that fire, but
Yeah.
it's frozen solid.
That's fucking amazing.
Is the
What a
most
piece
Albany
of shit that building is too.
I mean, it's a giant eyesore next to our giant eyesore waterfront highway. It doesn't get more Albany than that.
Hollywood is starting to come around to it, though. I don't know fucking why.
Yeah, I watched.
They filmed Salt there.
I watched them film Salt from the windows of our building.
Yeah, they filmed Salt there. They filmed scenes for the Punisher Netflix show there.
The other guys.
There was
filmed
one other
some
thing
stuff downtown. That wasn't on 787, but that was that
Yeah,
was Broadway and State Street.
they just finished filming some stuff around that area now. I think they were more in Troy, but
No, they were down by 787 because there was that story. Hillary Swank found somebody's dog, rescued somebody's dog down there.
oh Jesus Christ! Boy. All right, I think we're done.
We are done. We're done.
I think we're done. Jaws is done.
Yeah, it was good to talk about a classic. It's good to
Yeah.
actually dive in critically to these things that are very nostalgia heavy. These movies that
and it's really hard to do with some of the janky shit monster movies that we don't get it twisted. We love, but you can't deep dive into them because then everything falls apart. And then you just well, I wanted to give this movie a 7, but really I guess it's a 3.
And that's when we end up talking about punk music for 45 minutes instead.
Yeah, yep. That's the way. Well, I think it's time to do the socials.
Yeah.
So I'll bring out my mini list here. Please check out our website, www.bigdumbmonsterspodcast.com or www.bigdumbmonsters.com. Either one works, brings you to the same website. If you want to email us, just shoot something down to bigdumbmonsters@gmail.com. Suggestions for the show, suggestions for movies, segment ideas. We're all ears. We'll listen to anything. I mean, even if you want to complain about the show,
clearly we'll
hey,
watch anything.
hey, this doesn't work on the show anymore. We'll take it into consideration. Probably won't change, but we'll at least think about it. If you want to shoot us a tweet, that works too, at @dumb_monsters. Chris is the one that's more apt to find anything that you tweet at us. Also on Facebook, Big Dumb Monsters Pod. Again, Chris is more likely to find that because I'm not on Facebook anymore. And if you were on Slasher, which I suggest everybody get on Slasher because it's fun and everybody is super friendly and nice, we are Big Dumb Monsters Podcast.
We are also on Instagram at big_dumb_monsters. And you can also find the show on YouTube at the Big Dumb Monsters channel. I just set up our 30th video today. Actually, I'm sorry. I forgot the Christmas special. It's our 31st video.
31st.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yep.
We have, like, more than half of our episodes now have videos on them, which is, like, crazy.
That doesn't feel right.
Yeah. That's how long we've been doing the videos. Like, that, yeah. Started episode 21, which seems like forever ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was a long fucking time ago. Because this is technically episode 54. Yeah. But it's 53 if you don't count the Gremlins episode in the timeline count.
No, this is episode 55 then. Because I just set up... No, you're right. This is 54.
No,
I just set up 52.
It's 54.
No, I set up 52, which would be episode 53. And then...
Yes.
Yeah,
So our like, quote-unquote 1 year mark was Godzilla, Final Wars...
Yeah.
But technically, that's a week late because of Gremlins.
Whatever. We've been around a year. That's the important thing.
Fuck Gremlins. Yeah. 1 year and counting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was say, speaking of socials, I had somebody who was reaching out to us today who's looking forward to seeing us at some conventions in the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Offered to buy us a drink.
Ooh, I'm down for that. I'm always down for that. Yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Anywhere that you listen to the show, please rate, review. All that good shit helps other people find the show, and then we'll, beg them to rate and review the show, and so on and so forth. All that gets us, more exposure than we have naturally. But all that bullshit aside, don't let ghoulies eat your ass.
No, and don't ever sleep in a deathbed.
Never, ever, ever. Bye-bye.